So today we'll start conditionals. What are conditionals? Conditionals, as the name suggests, conditionals define a condition. Conditionals defines a condition along with the result of itself. For example, if it rains, I will stay at home. Now, what is the condition here and what is the result here? Here, if it rains. Now, if I hide this part of the sentence, I will stay at home itself make a sense. The second part of the sentence or the second clause itself make a sense that I will stay at home. But if I hide this part of the sentence, I will stay at home, then the first clause, that is if it rains, it doesn't make any sense alone. That's why the first clause of ours is called if clause or dependent clause, because it is dependent on the result clause or the second clause. Dependent clause, or we can say that conditional clause, because it defines the condition. Now, the second part of the sentence, as it makes a sense alone, that's why it is called a main clause, independent clause, main clause, independent clause, or result clause, as it defines the result of the condition that if it rains, I will stay at home. Now, how many types of conditionals are there? There are basically four types of conditions. There are basically four types of conditions. Our first condition is called the possible condition. Possible condition or open condition. Now, why this is called the possible condition and open condition? This is called the possible condition as it is possible to fulfill. We can fulfill this condition. Now, what is the syntax or the sentence structure of this condition, possible condition? Here we have if plus simple present. If plus simple present, that is first form of verb in the conditional clause or if clause, and we have will plus first form of verb, that is simple future, in the result clause or the main clause. Now, example of this can be, if you work hard, you will crack the exam. Now, in this sentence we have if you work hard in our conditional clause, as it is the condition and it is dependent on the result clause. You will crack the exam. Here the same thing. If I hide first part of the sentence, it doesn't make any sense. The second part of the sentence itself make a sense that you will crack the exam. But what if I hide second part of the sentence? You will crack the exam. Then the first clause or the if clause, if you work hard, doesn't make any sense. So here we have first form of the verb with if in the conditional clause, that if you work hard, first form of the word work, and in second clause and main clause we have will plus first form of the verb, that is simple future. So this condition is possible to fulfill, that if you work hard, you will crack the exam in the near future. Another example for this can be, if he runs fast, he will get here soon. So this this example is also of possible condition, that if he runs fast, he will get here soon. It is possible to fulfill this condition. Now, our second condition. Our second condition is imaginary condition. Now, what is the imaginary condition? As its name suggests, imaginary. Here we imagine something, or this condition is not possible to fulfill. That just because it is imaginary. Now, what is the syntax of this condition? The syntax is simply if plus simple past that is our second form of verb, and in the result clause we have would plus first form of verb. Here we can also use could and might with first form of the verb instead of would, because could represents the possibility, could represents the ability, and might represents the possibility. Now examples for this condition can be: if you worked hard, you would crack the exam. Yes, this example defines it, that if you worked hard, you would crack the exam. Here we have second form of the verb in the if clause, and we have would plus first form of the verb in the second clause or our main clause. Another example for this can be: if I had stamps, I could give it to you. I would give it to you. Here we have if I had stamps. Had is the second form of has or have, as we use it in perfect tense. So, if I had stamps, I would give it to you. If I had any, I would definitely give it to you. But right now, I am not having it. Now, sentence with could. How it defines the ability. If I had enough money, I could buy a car. So here, it defines the ability of a person, that if I had enough money, I could definitely buy a car. But now I didn't have any money. So this is our second condition, that is imaginary condition. Our third condition is impossible condition or closed condition. Now why it is called impossible or closed condition? Because this condition totally deals with the past time. It is impossible to fulfill these conditions. Now syntax for this condition can be if plus past perfect, that is had, plus third form of verb, and in the second clause or main clause we have would, could and might plus have and third form of verb. Now examples for this can be: if you had worked hard, you would have cracked the exam. So in this example, this condition always deals with the past, that if you had worked hard, you would have cracked the exam. Now, right now, the student has failed already, so someone is giving him the suggestion that if you had worked hard that much, you would have cracked the exam. But now, no, there is no use for this. Another example for this can be: if she had bought money, if she had brought money, she could have enjoyed the picnic. She could have enjoyed the picnic. So if she had brought money, she could have enjoyed the picnic. But she didn't brought money, so she didn't enjoy the picnic. Okay? Our fourth condition, our last condition, is the zero condition. What is zero condition? Our zero condition deals with the scientific facts. It deals with the scientific fact. So in this in zero condition, in the syntax of zero condition, we have simple present tense in both at both the sides. Okay, if plus simple present tense, and in the result clause or main clause we also had simple present tense. Examples: for example, if you heat iron, it goes red. This is our scientific fact, that if you heat iron, it always goes red. No one can change this. So These scientific facts are included in our zero condition. Another example for this can be, if you heat water, it evaporates. It evaporates or it boils. This is our scientific fact that if you heat iron, it evaporates or it boils. So these all scientific facts or truths are included in zero condition. So that's all for conditionals. Here our conditionals are completed.